Hi, today I'm going to show you a short tutorial on using tables to improve your alignment on your pages for more advanced layouts. So in this example we have a table, well, it's not a table, we've just set it up using the space bar to get spacing. So you can see that's all just done with space bar to hold that, and it looks okay here, but you'll see on the actual live website here, while it looks fine at that size, if the browser is a little bit smaller it starts to fall apart and it makes no sense. So to overcome that, what we do is we use tables, and it should hold up at any size. So we go insert edit table, and in this instance we've got one row. It's best that you keep it simple. If you can use one row and just put things down, it's going to be easier than having multiple rows, because it can get messy that way and just a lot more complicated. But your columns are what are going to hold your widths apart. So we use 7 columns for this layout. Set our border to 0, cell spacing to 0, cell padding to 0, and you can come back and experiment with those later if you want to. And to start with, we'll set this to 100% wide. So there's our table, and so in this column we can just start with our service 1. I might just copy that and paste it for speed. Service, yes, allow access. Service, so then you have service 5 as per below, service 3, and then we skip a column here and we'll put our prices in. So we go 55, 22, and 38, and then we skip another column and we'll put in the next services. So we go service 2, service 4, and now you'll see they don't align right. So what we do is you go right click in this cell anywhere, you right click and you go to cell properties and you go to vertical alignment top, and that'll bring things to the top of the cell and keep them nicely aligned. And then the same thing here, we'll put the prices down here. We go $48 and $31, and again we'll align that to the top. So what I'm doing, I'm just right clicking in the cell here, going down to cell properties, and you get this dialog and you go vertical alignment top. Okay, and now in this case we're going to set the horizontal alignment to the right because we're using prices, and you'll see that takes things over there. That way if we wanted to make that 1,331, our prices are still nicely aligned. And the same thing here, we might you might align that cell properties align to the right, horizontal to the right. And it's a good idea to vertically align the cells at the top, even if you don't necessarily need it at this point. And so now if we save that, you'll see that table now. If we refresh this page, we've got the table here similar to below. We could achieve more spacing in there by setting a width, which we'll do, but you can see that now when we push this in, it holds up. It doesn't fall apart because the widths of these cells just adjust as necessary to absorb the width, and that's going to hold that structure at pretty much any resolution on any computer screen. So it's a really good way to get columns on your page. You can put photos in them, you can put text in them, whatever you need to do, and there's a lot more you can do. You can, when you come back in and edit this page again, you can right click at any of these cells and you can set a width of a cell. For instance, if you wanted to separate the middle of that by, say, 28 pixels roughly, that gives you a definite width on that, and then you save that, and you'll see when we refresh this again, now you've got more space in between there, and you can set that a little wider if you wanted to. The other things you can do, you can add cells and add rows and everything, but just by right clicking and going insert row or insert column, that's going to give you more columns. You can grab the outside of the table anywhere there once you get that, and right click and you get table properties, and that's where you can actually go back. You can turn your border back on if you wanted to. You can experiment with cell spacing, and cell padding gives you more space, and you can also experiment with the width of the table. If you don't want it to be 100%, you can set it to a pixel width. I'll wrap up the tutorial there, but it's a really good way to achieve spacing and maintain good alignment on your pages.